We're almost there. Good evening, Melrosians, the world over. I am Tom Shampoo.
I'm Sam Hammer, and
I'm guest host Linda Apple.
Welcome, Linda Apple. All right. This is Let's Talk Melrose. Melrose, a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose, our wonderful city. Welcome, everybody. I know of the two of you, I know one of you how your weekend went, but how was everybody's weekend? Everybody good? Busy weekend, busy week last week. Yeah, lots going on.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I did start off Friday night at the Juneteenth event at City Hall. So our friend Joe Phillips is coming on to talk more about that because it was fantastic. And then it's a blur.
That's a blur. Well, it's Father's Day, so it's our special day.
Well,
I'm outnumbered here, so
yeah. No, it was the first time, right, that Tom, you weren't with your kids.
Yeah.
So that was a little. How did you feel about that?
I wept for a little while. I'm kidding. It was totally fine. They called. We did FaceTime with my sons up in Vermont. It was totally fine. It's not a big deal. You know, I feel like every day is Father's Day, so it's just another day.
That's very true. So John was visiting his dad in Connecticut, and then he came home. So we ended up, thankfully, what's the word I'm looking for? Glommed on with the Dugans. I had never had this thing called a packet dinner.
Oh, hobo dinner. Like, is it like foil and all that?
Foil?
Yeah. So we put it on the fire pit.
Sure.
Yeah. It was amazing.
It used to be called way back in the day. It used to be called the hobo pack.
No, that's not a
thing. I'm just saying. That's what it was.
That was great.
Did it have corn and all that yummy stuff in it?
It had ground turkey, chicken sausage from Trader Joe's, broccoli, onions.
Nice.
Who's this Karen coming in? Do you see this?
I don't know. We'll have to see. We can. So anyway, I do want to acknowledge, it's important to acknowledge that we have a special guest host, Linda Apple, because Mr. Catalini, probably still enjoying his Father's Day. Maybe it's a Father's Week. I don't know.
For Tom. Oh, yeah.
For Tom and Jen LeClaire. Where in the world is Tom Catalini? We did stumble upon this jewel. He's clearly not in Melrose. Oh, that could be the Cascade over at the Fellas. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's out enjoying himself out in the world. Good for him.
And where's Ms. LeClaire?
It's her nephew's birthday, so they're all out tonight.
They're all out for a birthday party.
That is really nice.
There are occasionally things that happen that are more important than Let's Talk Melrose. I see that now.
But you need. I came in and saved the day.
You do every time. Yeah. Every time you're our pinch hitter. Pitch hitter.
Pitch hitter.
Pitch
hitter is like two different people. Right. On that, we will move to the news, I think.
Yes.
Right? All right. I love it. All right.
I'll take this one because interesting. Speaking of words, you were talking about pinch, pitch, all of those. So did you guys know that the city now has these cool new devices called pocket talk translators? So they're these devices where you can speak into them and they translate into different languages from English to, whatever language you need. And it's 82 different languages. So 15 of the city departments now have these pocket talk translators so they can serve the public better and be more inclusive. So That is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Paid for by the Melrose Wakefield Hospital, Tufts Medical, and also Mass Department of Public Health. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
We could have used that on our vacation. Instead, I had to go to Google Translator and say the thing I wanted to say, and then try to read it back in my most
French accent.
I bet that was fun. I bet the kids loved that one.
In London. Was that okay in London?
Yeah, London too. I was like, we're going to where are we?
I will say this: if I don't have all the information, then please jump in and help me. But it looks like the MWRA folks, Mass Water Resources Authority, are sending out reports to customers, including Melrose, and the city is going to be following up with an additional update on a program that targets water quality, and they're upgrading the water infrastructure to improve water quality and also decrease water consumption that we lose via leaky pipes. So all that's going to be addressed, and all that's good news.
Great. As we are continuing on. Yes, welcome to the force. Welcome to the police force, Officer Jason Pinkelman. Yep. Pinkelman. We'll get there. Yes. Welcome. Yes, Jason P. Happy to have you. So your picture's in the paper. So yeah, welcome aboard.
Yeah, I came on board last week. That's great. And I don't know if that was like a new position or someone left the force. I'm not sure. But good to know that we have full police force.
Yeah.
And then congrats to the Melrose High School robotics team. They went to the World Championships and they finished in the top 15% in the world.
Wow.
That's impressive. Yeah. Wow. I don't know where it was, but if any of our fans know where it was, that's pretty cool. Congrats to them.
All right.
Yeah.
So
what else is going on?
What are you doing tomorrow night? Did we already talk about this earlier today? Because at 7:45 at the Milano Center, there's going to the developers of a new property development is going to be. They will be presenting their revised plans for the 12 to 24 Tremont Street residential building.
Yes.
Have you been following along with this?
Just the most recent news item. Yeah.
You haven't felt so. What do you, it's out. So I hear there are a lot of people that are going. I'm glad it's at the Milano Center to accommodate the audience that will be there. And I didn't read anywhere if it's going to be recorded or televised. If that's happening, but so far we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But right now it's proposed to be 5 stories, 107 units, 105 parking spaces.
Wow, yeah.
So
107 units.
Visualize this. So I know Tremont Street. I know that I kind of looked at the map. So, but it does it go all the way back to the tracks? It must, because that's a big footprint, right? So it goes. Okay. Thank you.
Wow. That's the front. I assume that's the front of the building, looking from Tremont Street, looking back, right?
And did you say, Tom, you think it's going to be bigger than the high school complex?
They said it'll be a building about as big as the high school, is what they said in the news.
Yeah.
So meaning it's just sprawling and large. You know?
One of the largest. The paper said it'll be one of the largest buildings in Melrose. So, I know that sounds like there's concern from the neighbors, and that it just will, we need housing yet. I don't know. I don't know enough about it I hope to get to the meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, you know me, and I think I always push for first floor retail. As we bring people, they need things. They need things to buy. They need food. They need perishables. So I'm always a fan of, and it will be interesting to see how this then trickles into the rest of that street.
Right.
Because we have a projected fire station on the other side that is always happening. But the vision for the for the entire street there is I'm interested in. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. This is going to have a big impact.
Yeah, and that street is really busy all the time, but especially school time, right? Like that's like the road everybody gets to get to the middle school and the high school, like one of the main ways to get to the schools. So yeah.
So I plan on going tomorrow night. Anyone else? 7:45. I'll be there.
Yeah. Gonna try to get there. If
not,
that's why
I'll report back.
That's why we're not going, because we know you'll be there. Thank you.
Yeah. But it's something that a lot of Melrosians are paying attention to. So
yeah.
It's a big project. It's huge. And if we didn't say, if people are trying to visualize this is down Tremont, on the same side as like the doggy daycare. What is that place called? The
Dogwood Cottage, but it's like right around the corner from West Emerson. And
as you're heading down toward the pool, which is on the right-hand side, and before all that, that's on the left-hand side. There's a couple of offices back in there now. There's sort of a
All right, if you hold on 1 second, I'll show you exactly where it is.
You have the map, because there was
this is a big deal. This is a big project. We're adding a lot of people to a smaller space. So
it's 100 units. Yeah.
There we go. Well, that helps a lot, Sam. Now we know where it is.
Were you being sarcastic? I think that's
no,
not at
all. Yep. So as you pop out of Lake Ave, it's pretty much right there.
So
where that big red. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's 12 to 14. So we'll see
how
it goes.
If we had a pointer, we could point to it. All right. Well, that's good.
Right around there.
Yeah. What else is going on, like in the arts? And
oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Great segue. So Saturday night, I will be at the Fish and Game Club.
Ooh.
It is their summer kickoff party from 3 to 7. So it's a big party, long party. So I'll be there.
That is a long party. I have not been to the Fish and Game in a long time. Yeah.
Right,
That sounds
let's do
fun.
it.
It's a great place to have a party. Just be careful because I remember when the deck fell. The deck like collapsed several years ago. So be careful on that deck. Yeah.
All right.
And then there's also this sounds really cool. On Sunday, June 25th, from 6 to 7:30 on the lawn of the First Baptist Church on the corner of Upham and Main, there's a fundraiser for the 3rd annual fundraiser for Bread of Life, and our very own Howie Newman, Melrose's Howie Newman. His band is playing the folk rock duo Knock on Wood. So
nice.
You can find out more about it if you go to www.melrosefbc.org.
So the First Baptist Church on Main Street and that's the one.
Main and Upham. Yeah. The big lawn there.
I love that spot.
Yeah.
I know.
It would be great. It would be great there.
And they have
you know what would be great there?
A beer garden.
Adirondack chairs.
Adirondack chairs.
Yeah.
It's I thought of that. That's so interesting because we go out to the Berkshires a lot, and there's a lot of churches in the Berkshires. I mean, I'm sure other places too, but I noticed a lot that have all the Adirondack chairs lined up in all the different colors, and it's so beautiful on these lawns. So it's a great space for these large churches and to utilize their whole campus. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Churches in the Berkshires. And then, how do we know all these things? Because we subscribe to the Melrose Creative Alliance newsletter.
Yeah.
It's great.
Awesome.
So if you want to know what's going on, click that link. Go to the melrosecreativealliance.org and click on events and see what's what.
You will be informed and up to date on all that's going on. Arts and
yes. I totally forgot. Brooklyn Lake Productions' first show of the summer, Jesus Christ Superstar, will also be this weekend.
Oh wow, that is big news too.
Where is that happening? Love that show.
That will be in Wakefield at the theater there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody you know in the show?
I think Sam Checkin's in the show.
Okay, nice.
So I'll put the
friend of the show
there. Oh yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, are we all set to bring on our guests?
I am.
I think we're ready. We don't have Tom Catalini again with the music and the sound effects. We don't have walk-up music for our guest Joe Phillips, but we'll bring him on anyway. Join us in welcoming. Hey, how are you, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Good to have you. Thanks for being here.
Good, Joe.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
As it goes, can you hear me now?
Yes, you can. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We were I was at the Juneteenth event. Thank you for your energy and your effort in putting it together. It was fantastic. And so I'd love to hear more about how Linda and I were talking. It's how the event happened and who put it together and that whole thing.
Yeah. So this is second or third year that we've done it, and with the help of the mayor's office, the Human Rights Commission, the DEI task force, and I tell you, like many events that go on here, Lily is tremendous, and can't thank her enough. She keeps like everybody on their toes, especially the mayor. So,
she's great.
Yeah, she did that. We talked and about a month ago, leading up to it, trying to decide who we wanted to have for the keynote, and we had a minister at the first flag raising. Funny story about the first one though, is that I had just showed up as a spectator, right? And the mayor, in his infinite wisdom, said, "Oh, we have Joe Phillips here from, our DEI task force in the Human Rights Commission." And so, I waved, and then I ended up having to go up there and give a speech. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I'm only here as a spectator."
Yeah,
but that was kind of funny, and it was a good time.
Nice.
Right. He was very. Yeah,
that's how we got the two guests, the professor and the reverend, and the state and local dignitaries.
Yep. And he would the first week there was extremely passionate, and it was very moving. Can you talk? And I did see the library was there as well, and they had some reading material. Can you talk us through why it's important, in your opinion, that Melrose honors the history of Juneteenth?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, I think that, I've been asked that on several different occasions. And what my response to that is that people say, okay, why Juneteenth? And then, and for me, it's analogous to July 4th. Same difference, right? Because we as African Americans are, as the two words state, African Americans, right? So we are Americans. And, the importance of the date is that we cannot sidestep nor forget or wish away what our history is as a country. So not only as we as Black Americans, but Americans, writ large, can't sidestep it, can't wish it away because it happened. We have to acknowledge it. We have to learn from it. We have to move on. We have to grow together. Because if we don't, we'll end up like countries like Florida. So that was a joke.
We all took it that way.
but yeah, and more importantly is that we need to learn from our past. We need to acknowledge, the trials, the tribulations, and everything that people like me, my ancestors, went through in this country. And, just as it is in the flag, okay, with the red base, blue sky, right? They meet in the horizon, and the white starburst, because what that says is that we're American. We're not looking to separate ourselves from our country. What we're looking for is just acknowledgement, equal acknowledgement, not special acknowledgement, right? Just equal.
Right. Yeah. And this is definitely a part of our American history. And so, I've had a few conversations since the event on Friday about how the historical significance was not necessarily in our history books growing up.
Right.
That we're now putting some historical facts, reality stories of folks in those books, so we can remember our true history, our full history, not just the version that we've had. So,
right, and I appreciate you saying that. And one of the things that, just my personal opinion, is conflated, and that is that, to be realistic and talk about reality, that's not critical race theory, right? That's not theory. That's reality, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know, if you're walking up the stairs and you stub your toe, does it not hurt? So that's reality. It's not theory, right? So, I've had these type of conversations with folks. Why do we have to do it? And, my simple response is, okay, why do we celebrate 4th of July? Mm-hmm. That's kind of simple, right?
Joe, from your perspective on the DEI committee and also the Human Rights Commission, outside of Juneteenth, how do you feel Melrose is doing, paying attention to the issues, addressing the issues, and making progress, however much, on those issues every year or in general?
Yeah, I can't speak for everyone, right? So that's one of the reasons why I got involved, right?
Great, thank you.
It's been said that what you don't want to be is like one of those angry people sitting in your living room yelling at the television.
Hey, that's what we have Tuesday nights at 8:34.
Where's Tom Catalini again? Yeah.
So get involved.
Yeah.
Right. So I find that Melrose, I would say the Melrose government, even the Melrose police, the new chief and everything, they're listening. Mm-hmm. Are they making wholesale changes overnight? No, that's really unrealistic, right? But they're listening. They're doing what they can to implement, changes in policies. They're recognizing some of those shortcomings, and I think it is a good effort by the mayor and his administration that they are seeking out consultants. We've done the vision survey a couple of years back. We're incorporating more multicultural type of events and recognition. Like Linda was involved in IFTAR, right? I mean, because there are so many different facets to Melrose, because Melrose is no longer just 100% Caucasian. And I feel that the generations that are coming up, they're recognizing that. And I think that's where a lot of the push is coming from.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting. Yeah, I appreciate that you're saying that. And I think it's really interesting that, Juneteenth is now a national holiday. I know, I've met a lot of people 8 years ago from Texas who, because that's where Juneteenth originated, right, in Texas, and who had always known about Juneteenth and celebrated and, honored that day. And it slowly started to move, east and west and sort of throughout the country. And now, like within a very short period of time, it's become a national holiday. It's become a celebration, not only of like an educational experience, educational, but also a celebration of family and of people's backgrounds and ancestors. So I think it's really important to note that it has, I think, just become this amazing way to honor and celebrate Black history and American history and culture. So and I'm glad that Melrose is recognizing that, and that we are. I can only see it getting, I hope, bigger in Melrose. And
yeah. So I was really proud to be there as a Melrosian, and the folks that were walking by who didn't know what was going on were also really proud to have their city have this event and honor their history. So thank you, Joe, for helping put this together.
Right.
I really appreciate it.
yes.
It's my pleasure. And to kind of add a little bit to what Linda was talking about, is that the greater prevalence prior to Juneteenth becoming a national holiday, that all really started at the time of the Great Migration. After slavery ended, and then folks moved to Michigan, folks moved to New York, folks moved to the Midwest, Ohio, Southwest California, these different states, and they took it with them out of the South.
Yeah.
And I learned of it years ago, and what is kind of surprising to me, my family's from Texas.
Really?
And so they knew about it even when I was a kid. And when I went down there, I had no clue what it was, right? But to that point, since that point in time of the Great Migration, it's been growing and growing and growing and growing. And I am, and to echo what Linda says, is that I'm proud of my country, that we now recognize it for what it really is.
That's great.
It's my pleasure to play a small part.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you are very involved in lots of things around here. What are you working on now?
Well, we are meeting the DEI task force, I believe, for the last time until the end of the summer. Going to be planning for the Dance for Community in conjunction with the HRC. And volunteers are welcome. So I'll put that out there.
Remind us when that is, Joe. That's in the fall, right?
That's going to be in the fall.
Yeah.
And no, it'll probably be after the Victorian Fair, and more than likely after Indigenous Peoples Day, around there. We're going to work. We're going to fine tune that. Last year it was great. Many people from the community came out. But that's what I'm working on there. And I don't know whether or not you all know. Also, I'm also involved out of Melrose. I chair the board of directors for pathways of LEND. It's adult education and job training.
Yeah.
So we help folks get their HiSET or GED, as it's also known as, job training, and very importantly, we also help folks to learn English and help them with their citizenship. So we do a lot. And next week, or this Saturday, there's going to be a bike giveaway. There's an organization that's called MUTS. And what they do is that they repair bicycles for kids. And so we have 108 that we're giving away.
Wow.
Wow. That's very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a couple of things going
you
besides
do.
having to work.
And then you got to work and all that.
That's great.
So a little bit like Mayor Broder pulling you up on stage from the shadow of the backdrop. This is what the show really is meant to do, which is to pull people up to say, this is who lives in our community and who's working to make Melrose a better, more engaging and more accepting place. And so thank you for all the work that you're doing and all the ways that you care about the city, which is really fantastic. Thank you.
You are sure doing that. Yeah. And Joe and I, if it wasn't apparent, Joe and I served together on the Melrose Human Rights Commission, which is awesome. We have a great group, and we're about to have our last meeting next week of the season, and we're going to do some planning. Think about, where we go from here. We had a very successful year, but we're going to be thinking about what partnerships are really important to us, and to think about, how to involve more people from the community. So that's exciting too. So Joe, thank you. You're an awesome Melrosian.
Yeah.
So to see you and work with you, and yeah.
Thanks for saying yes to coming on the show.
Well, it was. I'm glad that I was able to watch a little bit of it, because it's lighter than I had anticipated, which is a good thing.
Good. Yes.
It's even lighter than that.
Reading from the paper.
Yeah, we don't always read from the newspaper. But we're understaffed right now.
Our marketing and the analytics
Research
team are off this week, so we don't have the services.
Blame guest there, yes.
And if I may,
sure.
take a little liberty, because I have to give my boy Michael a plug.
Okay.
So Michael, as you saw at the ceremony, helped me raise the flag. I commend him because this is going into his third year of Michael P's, I think he calls it Michael P's coat drive. Because what he does, what we do, actually his idea, but we get warm clothing, hoods, hoodies, jackets, sweatshirts, warm socks, gloves, mittens, all that for inner city school children, because he was told by a counselor that he worked with that because she was a teacher in Malden, that some of the kids come in without a jacket in the dead of winter. And he said, Papa, we have to do something about that. Mm-hmm. So he's been doing it. He's got the Green Street Church to donate this past year, which I thought was pretty huge. Mm-hmm. So I want to give him a plug. He is doing it again this year. So we got over 100 pairs of gloves and mittens and hats, socks, I think 30 or 40 thermals, hoodies. He did a lot of work, and it went to the school systems in two cities. One, it went to a school system in Lynn for the elementary school kids, and the other was Malden.
Wow.
So,
and this is your son, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old is he?
12.
Wow. Good for him.
So you're raising another engaged citizen of
Right.
Melrose. So that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. Well, when the drive comes up, when he starts
Let us know.
collecting, come back on the show and we'll have him.
Oh,
on.
I most definitely will, and I'll let him.
Yeah.
I'll let him speak, and he's a good boy. He is.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of him.
That's sweet. Phil, thank
Yeah.
you. And thank him as well. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Yes,
The show
thank
is
you so much.
global, so you know the reach is pretty far.
Yeah. Great.
Well, thank you for coming on again. Really, really appreciate your time and the work that you're doing for the city and elsewhere, other cities too. It's really important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So does
Okay.
Joe know about dancing it off?
I don't know. We're ending the show now, Joe. So what that means is we're going to play our theme song, and we usually dance it off on the way out,
Oh, okay.
and we say goodbye.
Because
you need me to do that with you or what?
Yes, because
Yeah, of course. That's what guests do.
a community that dances
Community
together.
dance. Yeah,
Right.
let's do it. Let's start it now.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, we'll
let's
see
do
everybody.
it.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you around town.
Bye.